love.
Alright, hello everyone, this is Cyber Eric with another gameplay showcase slash overview, and this is for Mario Kart World. We'll be going over some of the mechanics, some of the content that the game provides, etc, etc. And here we start with obviously Grand Prix, Mario Kart, obviously a racer, different Mario characters that you can select from. And you can have everything from the penguin from Mario 64 all the way to Mario, and different skins that I have not unlocked all of them. Obviously you can choose your cart. And you can choose the different cups, and this is for the Grand Prix mode. We'll show the Knockout Tour mode, which is a new mode for Mario Kart World later. And basically you're gonna be running around selecting different courses, right? And when you select a cup, you will go over a set of races, and basically based on points, you will basically get a placing, right? You want to go to first place, you're gonna get coins. That's Mario Kart in a nutshell. If you have never played a Mario Kart before, that's usually what they are. And again, this Mario Kart is actually now a lot more characters. I think it's 24 characters now, which is very, very fun. So let's go over some of the techniques, right? Some of the techniques that the game includes, including rocket start. And again, the game includes all of these, so you can kind of read them on your own, but I captured them here real quick. You can also drift, right, by pressing the R button. You can do a mini turbo after you drift. If you drift after a while, you will basically unlock, and you will be able to do a small turbo here. Jump boost, this is more like the same button you use for drifting, only you go forward for jumping. You can spin backwards, etc, etc, right? You can do a charge jump as you're seeing it there, and that'll help you for grinding. I'm not mastered that yet. You can also do, new to Mario World, is this rail ride thing where you can actually grind certain things, and you can wall ride. I've actually only done this like once, if not twice, in the whole game. And if you're playing single player, you can actually rewind. Do note that that's more specific. So, items. Obviously, Mario Kart has a lot of different items, and you can see here's a showcase of some of them. Alright, you can do a different number of items. You can have something like a mushroom, and different items to also attack your opponents. And again, I'm trying not to explain this too much because Mario Kart is a known existence in the game world. This is a red shell right here, right? You can actually use, and you can use some of the more complex items like the infinite mushroom, which is actually rare but pretty good. So what are the rules? Obviously, Grand Prix, as I mentioned, you have the basic racing, where you basically are running from right, so trying to get to first place or as high as you can go. You're gonna be racing different opponents in different laps. And the courses, it depends on the course. Some courses have laps, some are just straightforward. And you'll be able to race, go different rounds of them, and the goal is to get to first place, as I mentioned here. And obviously, this is to kind of showcase some of the gameplay you will see there. Again, this is another item, for example, this is a jump. But basically, you want to get to first. Once you get to first, obviously, you end the 3 laps. And you will be able to get a finish. There's multiple races, you get basically points after each race. And that's how basically Mario Kart works in a nutshell, right? Of course, again. But this is a more gameplay showcase where it goes on like this. And you'll do different races. And then you'll be able to show particularly different things. Here's another race track course, right? You guys can see. Maps are a little bit more open than in previous Mario Kart games because of the extra amount of players that are on screen, which I think is actually a very nice entry into the series. You will get some getting used to, but I think it's actually excellent what they've done with the Grand Prix, etc, etc. And the open world will go on a little bit later. So that's basically it, right? After you win a race, you basically are rewarded based on what's your ranking, right? In this race that I did just for this video, right? Donkey Kong, Bowser Jr., and then myself playing as Mario. And that's basically Grand Prix in a nutshell. Pun intended. As to how you play Grand Prix, and that's Mario Kart basically, a racing game, arcadey, easy to play. So let's go over Knockout Tour. This is one of the new modes for Mario Kart. or right, where Mario Kart World, where you're actually racing a continuous loop around different maps that are interconnected as part of this giant open world that they have made for this game. So Knockout Tour, if you see there, the number 12, that's basically you have to place above 12 in the rankings for you to keep going, and there's a series of like not laps but rounds where you each time you're knocking somebody over. So right now it's like, for example, 4 out of 6, lap 4 out of 6, right? And obviously all these modes, both Grand Prix, Knockout Tour, and other modes, you can play with multiple players on screen. I wanted to show that as well, just to kind of give you guys a showcase of that, right? 2 players split screen. Here I am playing with somebody else on the right side, playing as Luigi. I was Donkey Kong, and just basically playing Knockout Tour, goofing around, trying to figure out and racing until basically the first player at the end of the race, that's the one who wins. It's not point-based like it is in Grand Prix. Excellent mode. Alright, time trials. Time trials are basically self-explaining. You're basically racing against a ghost. Here's a ghost that I found online, right? The first thing that showed up. And I'm trying to basically see if I can catch him / beat his score. These are pretty challenging. You're gonna have to get really good, really fast in terms of learning all the tricks and shortcuts on the map to speed up your time. That's basically time trials. There's not much to it, but it is a fun distraction. Alright, versus. Obviously, there's a bunch of versus modes. Balloon Battle and Coin Runners are usually the biggest ones. Obviously, race versus race when you're racing on people. But for example, this one is Balloon Battle. Notice I have 1 balloon left. This is just a random clip from an online match. And you're basically trying to eliminate players and knock out as many balloons as you can until you get points or until you get eliminated, which I will get to in a second here when I get eliminated. But you got this open map. I'm playing online with a bunch of people. There are no bots, right, to my understanding. So basically you're going to play online. A lot of fun. Alright, but that's basically multiplayer. So, free roam. So there's multiple things you can do in free roam, such as P switches, panels, finding different medallions, finding coins, and coins are used to buy or unlock the cars. And there's a bunch of different shops for food, which unlock different costumes. Anyway, so you can take photos. So free roam, once you start it, it'll be in the main menu. You click there on free roam, and you're basically launched into whatever you pick. You can pick anywhere on the map. So what do we pick here? Right, so basically you're gonna have an open space. You're not gonna be racing or anything. There's no races to do. It's a little bit barren. It's a little bit empty, but there's a couple little challenges to find there, as you saw at the beginning. And I'll show some examples of some of the things you can do. So, for example, you can find grab slots of coins there. You can run around. You can change characters as well, different cars. Try the different characters. You want to potentially get the coins, and you can also do these P challenges, which are basically different little challenges here and there. I'm not going to show this one to not give some spoilers, but I'll show you a quick one here, this is a quick one where it'll take a couple of seconds. Some of them can take a long time, and I might say long time, right, like 40 seconds to a minute, but some can be seconds long, like this one here, where you'll see that basically all it asks you to do is do the grind. And that's basically it. So those are the challenges and the things that you will be doing in the open world. Again, fun to do, but it's a little bit lackluster in itself. But it's actually fun to just look at the maps from a perspective where you're actually seeing the entire world. And I'm showing it up here. So another thing I wanted to also show, as well as that, obviously you can glide. You can also drive on water, and you can basically just transfer between land. Right, vehicle mode, where you see the wheels changing there to water at any point. So that's basically the new mechanics of Mario Kart World in a nutshell. The last thing I wanted to show from the open world, sometimes you will find these trucks that are open. You can actually spawn as them. I don't know the specifics as to what this does, other than it's a lot of fun. But again, the open world's a little bit boring. It's fun to do, but you're gonna run out of kind of things to do briefly. But again, to each his own. I'm actually still enjoying it. But I'm playing it here and there. So here's another challenge where you're basically picking up blue coins. That's the basis of it. The game runs well. Mario Kart's a lot of fun. So let's actually look, because I always like to do this for my videos. I want to compare it. I want to show comparisons to other games. So I wanted to kind of show, here's the evolution of Mario Kart, where we started at. So this is the original Super Nintendo Mario Kart. running on the emulator on the Switch. And just to show you real quick, so you can kind of remind yourself of how the series has evolved in terms of Mario Kart and how we got to the world. And I'll show some other comparisons here in a second here. So here's another game. Here's Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing. Obviously a little bit, there's different kart games. You can think of Crash Bandicoot, you can think of the Garfield ones. This is a very popular one as well, the Sonic Racing game. It's pretty good. There's a new one coming out soon in Crossroads. This is the first one, if I recall. And I just played it just to kind of remind myself of how to play it. It's a little bit different, but it's still a basic Mario Kart. You're grinding on the sides, you're grabbing items, and you're basically trying to get first place in just like bricks, grind bricks. And here's the latest one. You see Mario Kart. This is Mario Kart 4. This is Mario Kart 8. Deluxe running on the Switch 1. And obviously most of you have played because this game sold bananas, right? Basically from the Wii U and the Switch. Obviously it's different a little bit in mechanics where you have this grinding, you still have the blind wheel here. Similar to Mario Kart World, that has not changed. Items are very similar for the most part. And obviously the difference, one of the big differences between World and 8 is that you can actually drive underwater. In 8, in World you actually glide over the water, which is a very nice aspect. But that's it for the video in a nutshell. Again, this is a quick overview of the gameplay and aspects of Mario Kart World. Again, a lot of fun, a lot of things to try out and see. But that wraps up our Mario Kart World gameplay showcase. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. This is Cyber Eric, and as always, have a good one, everyone.